salutations. Welcome to a very, very especially special installment of your favorite podcast, the Dell Ryan Report. I am Ryan Humor, and
hey man, it's the ever so clever, the man with many endeavors, your favorite podcast host of Dell and Ryan Report, Mr. About Delltime. Peace, King.
Is there peace, King? Is there peace?
It's peace between us because we brothers. But I'm word on the street is it don't even matter. Any brother can get these hands.
Man, you know, like a couple years ago when they was killing everybody in the streets, well, they still killing people in the streets. But you know, people would send out this message like, "I will never talk bad about another black man. A black man is king. My brother is my brother's keeper. I love all my brothers, African kings forever."
But did Will Smith put that out? Did he put one out?
You know, when it came to that thread, I was the only person on the planet that didn't do one. I was the only one that not shared.
The only
because I knew there would be a day, but not a day like this. For those of y'all that ain't seen, I don't know where you been. Literally under a rock. Like if you was under a rock, like Will Smith, Cyber Shutter, Chris Rock. And look, bro, here's the thing. When I first seen it, just like everybody else, when I first seen it in real time, I don't know who it was. Shout out to Shade Room Let Us Awaken somebody on Instagram. There's like they showed a little clip, the TV clip that we got in America, like this is so fake, this is staged. I was like, I gotta dig deeper. And not like a couple of y'all be doing on Twitter looking for one example. I was like, I gotta dig deeper. Then I saw the part where he's like, keep my wife's name out your mouth like twice. And I was like, oh, ain't no joke after that. And I saw Chris Rock kind of like mess up on his words. Like, we're here to give out a documentary. I mean, we're here to give out an award for a documentary. And Dell, when black people aren't acting, Dell, this is when you know. When some shit pop off and this is white people and black folks, right? This is what happened. When some shit pop off and they supposed to happen, black men or white men be like, dude. So that's what Chris Rock said. Dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke. When everybody says, dude, this is not scripted no more, bro. This is not scripted, man.
It definitely was not scripted, man. And you know, a lot of things are out there now, as far as, of course, people are, there's two sides. There's two, not to say there's two sides, but there is two sides, right? There's a side who think Will was in the right for this. And then there's a side that think that Will was in the wrong for this. So my question to you, Ryan, is what side are you on?
Man, look, I'm not about to be out here skating the fence talking about they could both be wrong and they could both be right. Listen, man, Will Smith wrong as hell. And I'm gonna say that before going, I'm gonna say that without any context. I'm gonna say that without any of the August entanglements. Like I'm gonna say that without any of the past Chris Rock Oscar roasts that he's done, because Chris Rock always get on celebrities. That's at the Oscars. That's just what he do. I believe that number one, we've done this. Y'all, number one, like I understand that Megan let y'all down and y'all want to just ride the protect black women train, but y'all got to get off that train. Y'all got to go holler at Meg, and then holler at Meg. Y'all go back and protect black women for that, because this ain't got nothing to do with black women. This right here, I'm gonna tell you why I don't. Because y'all trying to do this thing where it's like she got a medical condition, she's bald. LeBron been bald for 20 years, and all y'all do is make fun of LeBron being bald. It's a bunch of bald niggas running around running amok right now. They're bald. That's just what it is. We make fun of women that got weaves and lace fronts all day long. Lace front this, lace front that. Those jokes is okay. But and the thing is this, bro, he didn't call her a boy. Mm-hmm. He said G.I. Jane too. Right. I mean, G.I. Jane is about a strong, bald woman. That's just what that's what it's about. He didn't call her. He didn't say, I'm looking forward to Sigourney Weaver alien. He didn't say that. He said G.I. Jane. So, and my thing is this, bro, I kind of feel like, I think, especially for Will Smith with even more context, like Will Smith to be in entertainment for so long and to be like a child of Hollywood and to be around people that roast and to have a whole episode in Fresh Prince, like with D.L. Hewley on there. Like Will Smith is a producer of a comedy show that's on Roku. I mean, right. Will Smith made a killing on Fresh Prince, calling Uncle Phil fat. Like, mm-hmm. I mean, like what? How can you be right? How can you be right? I don't see a reason ever to like to do that to an entertainer like ever. So no, I think he's wrong. Period.
That you know what, and I will have to agree with you that on that. I mean, I think that I think he was extremely wrong. Let me just be clear. I think he was extremely wrong. I think that this could have been handled somewhere as quick as they say that it was able to be handled behind doors, because Diddy put out an announcement saying that this has been solved. It's not a problem. It's closed. That they were able to resolve it then. I mean, Chris Rock didn't file any type of he didn't file any lawsuit. I don't know about lawsuit. A lawsuit might be coming, but he didn't. He didn't get him arrested. I mean, he definitely could have got Will arrested. The crime is on national television, so it's not like what I'm saying, nobody can't see it. But as fast as they were able to get it resolved after the smack had happened, they could have done that same technique previously before that if it was really a problem. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to say this. The problem wasn't what Chris Rock said. It wasn't about no G.I. Jane joke. The problem wasn't about that. The problem was about everything else that Will has been facing these last few years, about everything that's been displayed on the red table, about everything that has came out about this entanglement. This shit got to do with that slap was for Tupac in August. That's who that slap was for. He wanted to slap the shit out of Tupac, but he can't do that to the hologram because the hologram gonna take that shit. But I will tell you this: your man's Chris Rock took that shit like a straight up G. Did he not? He took that shit to the chin and wiped it off.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say that before I get into Chris Rock, I do want to say this. Let me walk this back a little bit, or give like Will Smith a little bit of credit, because Will Smith is one of my heroes as well. I'm not gonna sit there and do all that he let me down stuff, but there's a comedian I follow, hoping to meet him one day. His name is Keon Poley on Instagram, right? He said the thing that people would expect, that's a long ride home. You know what I mean? Like if you don't stand up for your wife. But he also said this is the funniest thing I've heard. This isn't a meme. This is just something he said during his rant. He said, Will was laughing at first. Mm-hmm. And then Jada looked at him and said, if you don't slap him, I'm going to fuck him.
God.
And I'm like, okay, well, if you put it like that, like, if you put it like that, then okay. Like, what are your choices?
Yeah. I guess you had to get the slip shot out because I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Well, I don't want to know he will. I don't want him coming looking for me. Don't keep my wife's name out of my. Nobody ain't gonna say her name.
That was the funniest of all the things I've heard. I'm like, well, if you put it like that, if you put it like that, that's a funny part of me. And then within that, to keep piggyback like on like what I think you're going to get into is like within the certain circumstances, you can only handle like so much within your own like everybody reaches a tipping point. They interviewed Jason Momoa, Aquaman, Drago from Game of Thrones.
Lisa Bonet husband. That's all you got to say. Everybody
they get divorced.
Well, yeah, her baby daddy.
That's all you got to say. And I mean, like he was like, yeah, man, people reach a tipping point, man. People are going through a lot of stuff. And I think it's weird. I think it's interesting how like everybody kind of know what's going on, but we can't all just be like, that's what's going on. We all just gonna be like, all right, well, Chris Rock, he deserved that. And then Will Smith, he's a man, and then protect Black women. Versus like this, right? When Antonio Brown got butt naked, there's like, he's crazy. He going through some things. That's it.
Kanye snatched the award out of snatched the microphone out of Taylor Swift hand. He crazy.
He going through some things. But Will Smith is like, nah, there's no way that Will could ever be like the perpetrator. So it's everybody else's fault. And I think that's a whack.
It is whack. It is it's extremely whack. It's whack. And I gotta say this. I mean, Will can't be happy with his action on that. And I think the tears that he had while accepting his award, his Oscar award for King Richard, were because he let himself down. He let himself get to it, but he didn't want to cry. He didn't even want to smack the shit out of Chris Rock like that. But like you mentioned, He got the look from his wife. He was laughing. Oh, you laughing and shit? Oh, you laughing? Oh, okay, I'm gonna fuck him. And then he had to go up there and prove his point. He had to go up there and smack the shit out of that man. And that's why Chris Rock just said, damn, dude, like, yeah, man, Chris Rock didn't even believe the shit was gonna happen. Chris Rock was like, oh, King Richard, called him Richard. He didn't even call him Will Smith, he called him Richard. He didn't even know it was gonna happen. They saying that basically this is and you know what kills me about this is that everyone in the media is already trying to give Will an out for this shit. It's the protect Black women. She got alopecia. She has a hair loss disease. Okay, understood. The other deal is we already know Will been going through some shit. Okay, fine. And then it's even to the third extreme. He was still in character of being King Richard. Wow. So people are going that far to say that he was just so in character and he acted as how Richard would act, saying that. So now you blaming this on Sierra and Venus' dad. Now it's his fault. You know what I'm saying? We're reaching that far. However, if you look earlier on the tape, he was asked by something, I think it was about like entertainment or something like that. He was asked a question. Oh, you know, hey, luckily ain't no more entanglements. They mentioned the word entanglement. Slap that motherfucker. You feel me? Slap him. If that was, and I'll say this right now, if that was Jerry Seinfeld wouldn't have got slapped. And that's fucked up. And I think it's fucked up that they even would. And you know, another thing that gets me is this. I'm sorry, I'm very frustrated about this because just like you, Ryan, these are two of my heroes in a lot of ways. Chris Rock is definitely somebody who is profound in the comedy. Will Smith has definitely, you know, shown us what acting is, as far as like any young Black man could identify with his story if they never had their father and things like that, or even though he had his father in his life, but just the show in itself had us be so much related to it.
Right.
So, you know, Will Smith has, of course, won our hearts, right? But to see this happen, this is the type of shit that's like, you did this shit in front of these white people. This is the type of shit that they want us to see, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I'm being real. That this is the shit that they want to see. Oh, look at y'all heroes. Look at them acting up.
You know what's interesting about that point? I was going to ask you about that as well. I was going to ask you, how do you feel about the concept of I guess people were calling this about the white gaze, and that Black people shouldn't be concerned about how they look in front of white folks. And the thing is, I think that's I think I understand that point, and it's misdiagnosed for this situation. I think more or less of what you're saying is, why y'all doing that in front of company?
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter. This isn't some make sure your hair is right in front of white people. Yeah. It's, yo, don't smack me in my head in front of company, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I saw this meme today, right? And I saw this meme when I had this dude with underwear on his head, right? Like the drawers was on his head, and on the bottom it said, bruh, it said POV, when your boy give you a wedgie to show off in front of some hoes y'all just met. And it's just, obviously it's a massive extreme, but it's like when you be around some randoms, like, bro, why is y'all putting our business in the street in front of these random hoes? Nobody care about them bitches think? Yeah, but bro, like, respectfully though. Like, why is you giving me a wedgie in front of bitches? Like,
you care about what them bitches think. That's why.
Right. So it's like, well, why you care about what them hoes think? It's not about me caring what hoes think. It's about respect. So it's like, it's not about Black people acting in front of white folks. It's about, like, why would you do it in front of company? Like, you can go to the back and choke him up like that or whatever. Here's the thing. I don't even care. I don't even care if you do it at the Oscars. I don't care. I wouldn't want it to happen at the BET Awards. Yeah. I wouldn't want it to happen nowhere. I think that's like, I feel like at the BET Awards it'd be even more disrespectful. I just think there's this thing like, y'all trying to say that Black people got to behave right at the Oscars. I'm not saying anybody got to behave. I'm saying you shouldn't just smack a grown ass Black man in public in front of people over some shit that he said. I think that's crazy to me. And they got this thing that they passing around. Because I watched I consume a lot of like content and shit. So like my memory for content is like kind of clear. So I knew they were gonna circulate this thing of Will Smith smacking this French guy
I saw that
overseas.
one. Yep.
Right?
And they had to
And
bring
they're
that
like,
one.
y'all acting like Will Smith ain't been at these hands. Like, nah, that video was super funny. And Will Smith smacks dude because dude attempts to kiss Will Smith on both of his cheeks. He's like
Yeah.
trying to say, like, kiss him hard. It's like, hey, bro, get off me. This is weird. Respectfully, that's self-defense. Like, it's
Yeah.
literally not the same thing. So to your like Jerry Seinfeld point, it's people like, you see, he would have smacked Jerry Seinfeld too because he smacked this French guy. Like, nah, bro, that's not the same thing. See, but the thing is, just like y'all just don't understand how it be like when you be playing with niggas' wives, because when you play with niggas' wives, and I hear that to an extent. And I think there's certain arenas for certain things. Like when you talk about how Push was like, Drake used my wife's name in a song and I didn't like it at all. So I'm going in.
Yeah.
Your homeboy is sick. He's dying. I get that's on that arena, right? There was a time where Deezus and Mero had mentioned, they talked about how DJ Envy, they made a little joke about like DJ Envy before he had money, his wife, something like, nothing disrespectful to her, but like this is before he did, and then DJ Envy was like, don't ever mention her name. Just she support, don't ever say it. Now DJ Envy and Charlamagne are commentators, the same that these Samara are. Now respectfully, they see each other face to face, say, hey, don't do it again. I understand that. The problem with all this is there's people that are purposely not investigating the narrative and just making up their own, kind of like the Kaepernick thing, like he disrespected the troops. Because there's people going around here saying that Chris Rock received a warning from Will Smith in the crowd. And that's not what happened. Will Smith sits down and then yells that twice after he smacks Chris Rock. So for those of y'all that are writing these long ass comments, well, he warned him. That didn't happen. So
unless we saw something that didn't display on television, like unless it was so here's my other scenario, right? That may have happened.
Right
now, 2016, we all know about that now because we all know about it now because it's the infamous. Okay, well, Jada boycotting the Oscars. How you boycotting something you weren't invited to, right?
Fine. Let me give a little more.
Hold on.
Let me give a little more context to the joke.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is another time when Black people were going to boycott the Oscars, and then Chris Rock made a joke about how there's always people without a job telling you to not go and get a job. He was like, if I don't do this, what, they gonna have Kevin Hart up here or something? Somebody gonna take this job, because Kevin Hart taking all the jobs. Kevin Hart was there, and he was like, they got Jada Pinkett out here talking about she boycotting the Oscars. How are you gonna boycott something that you wasn't invited to? Right. That's like me boycotting Rihanna's panties.
Mm-hmm.
Now, go ahead, because I think jokes need context. You know what I mean?
No. I appreciate the context. However, the only thing I gotta say about that is, and I'm glad you brought that up, is all right. So my thought is maybe there was a warning. Maybe there was something that was said from that maybe was said throughout the year from there. Hey man, maybe they bumped into each other at some party. It's like, hey man, you ever mention my wife's name again? I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, right? And then that happened, and then he came up. He said, because I felt like I think this is the only thing that would justify to me why Will was laughing and then got back out of laughing. I don't think he got. I ain't gonna go with that whole. There was a look from Jada. I'm not doing all that. I'm not saying that he's that less of a man. I don't think Will is that less of a man. I think it clicked to him that something was happening, and he had to stand. And this was, I think, the anger got to him so much that, like I said, this is what got to him. Unless it was this point. Hey, I already done told your ass. You mention my wife's name again, I'm slapping the shit out of you. And he had to go up there and slap the shit out of him. Just for the simple fact, too, the only reason why I'm saying this, and the only reason why I'm putting out the speculation out there is because after Chris Rock said, man, y'all see that Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. That sound like that was already predetermined. If you ever say my wife's name again on some national station, I'm slapping the shit out of you. And you have to say, he slapped the shit out of me.
I give you that. And it's because the way he said it is like, damn it, you know what? I do remember him telling me he's gonna slap the shit out of me. Now this all comes full circle. You know what? Now I remember him saying that, because you are right there. That in that situation now, I can't agree with the way it took place. And I can't, but if that's your word, bro, like I watched Game of Thrones for the second time a while ago. And I watched this other show called like The Last Duel. It's real dope. It got Matt Damon, Ben Affleck in it, and it's about this duo from like 3 different perspectives. It's dope, but it's like, oh, like not Middle Eastern, like dark ages.
Dark ages, yeah.
And people was about their word, like. Not, and I don't mean in the hood about their word. Like if I'm shooting everybody in here, if I
word is bond, son.
I don't mean like come back and shoot everybody. I mean like, hey, real talk. If I see you on these lands again, I'm swording you. Yeah. I'm going to sword you. If you disrespect my horse, I'm swording you. And they was about their word. Like even if you die in the fight, it's about their word. So in this situation, the Will Smith was like, hey, dog, me and my wife didn't even make it to the Oscars. People didn't go see Concussion because the NFL be hating. I would appreciate it. I know you get the joke is more about Rihanna's panties and Rihanna being fine, but just in the future, just don't ever do that again. And if that's what's said, then I completely understand, because I feel like that's the way to go about it in the background the first time.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like it's ironic that like she would boycott the Oscars because Will didn't win, but then when he was nominated, when black folks nominated, we no longer boycott. But that's a different story. But you're right, and I don't mind that speculation, because sometimes, as we talked about on the last episode, when the truth is out of control, the background story got to have some type of wild context as well. So if all that happened, cool, because I feel like stuff like that do be happening. Like it's like. It's like I don't think the Breakfast Club has ever said anything about Birdman again.
No,
ever since Birdman went, hey man, put some respect on my name. Like
put some respect
on my. You're gonna put some respect on. Charlamagne was like, hey, why you talking to radio guy like that? Y'all gonna put some respect on my name. And that
all 3 of y'all.
But this is to the point where I'm always open for a different perspective of thought, because it's just like I don't believe that Kanye Pete Davidson conversation is real. However, if it is real, then yeah, Pete Davidson, a wild man. He a wild boy. If it's real, but I don't think it's real. But if it is, hey, so be it. And like me and you said about that situation, if Kanye and Pete was talking one day and it's like, hey man, you got a great wife, bro. She's super cool. Kanye's like, hey man, I feel like we not close, but you've been around me and like on the mob, bro. If you ever like slide on her like after me or during me, like I'm going to try to destroy your career. And Pete Davis like, nah, bro, let's go. We never do that to you. Kanye's like, okay, man.
My uncle.
You like big bro, you up. And they shook on it like this. And they shook a white hand and the black hand, like chocolate and ivory, like this. And then Kanye was like, okay, you sure? He's like, yeah, hug me. And then they hugged. And it's like, okay,
gotta go this far.
And then after that, Pete Davidson was like, no, this is my boo now. Kanye was like, okay, Operation Chaos. So if that's the agreement that was made between men, then I understand. Yeah. But the way that Will Smith sent out that apology, though, yeah. I don't know if that's what happened.
No, I don't know if that's what happened either. I don't know.
Because the way the apology was written, it looked like.
Yeah. It looked like he moved on some action. It looked like he did some shit that he moved too fast. He moved off impulse, not off of thinking. He moved like he thought they were still in there doing the mic check. Like they was in there doing the mic check for the Oscars. Like, and that was the joke. Like that's
it was a rehearsal.
Like it was a rehearsal. Like and the way he straightened himself up after too, like he got me fucked up. Yeah. He slapped that man like he slapped somebody in the Wild Wild West. That's how he slapped.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean, bro. Like back in those days, people was about their.
No, word. I'm talking about how he looked in the movie Wild Wild West. He was slapping people like he was in the train in the Wild Wild West. The way he was slapping motherfuckers, the way he slapped them, like that shit was wild. But
it was wild.
But see, look. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this much. This either gonna do two things for Will Smith. It's gonna let motherfuckers. He's done this already. He's won the side of people being like, "Good job, Will, stand in your ground," because everybody else that's already been like, man, they can just stop making fun of Will. He a good man, blah blah blah. Right? He's won that now. He's won that. Right. So now there's people who's like, he did the right thing. That's why a lot of motherfuckers ain't even fully contexting this shit out. They're not going through the whole thing of this was wrong or this was right. Like I said. Had this been, and it ain't even that he wouldn't have did it, it's that he would have moved different because of the fact of this. Like I said, I'm gonna use Jerry Seinfeld because Jerry Seinfeld, I just felt like Jerry Seinfeld in it. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld need to be in this part. But if Jerry Seinfeld was hosting the Oscars and he slapped the shot Jerry Seinfeld, everybody like, he's wrong. I can't believe he slapped Jerry Seinfeld because Jerry Seinfeld Not that Chris Rock ain't a GOAT. It's just that Chris Rock is an easy outlet compared to somebody like Will Smith.
You think so?
I think compared to Will Smith, it's hard for us as the culture, right? As the culture, we like, bro, Chris Rock is culture. You feel me? But it's that eye of being good in any hood, and that's even suburban hoods, right? Will Smith is good in Bel Air.
You know what? I get what you mean, and the only problem with my problem is like the visualization of the analogy. I get the analogy, but my only issue is like, because Jerry Seinfeld is worth like 900 million, he's just never hosting the Oscars, and he's rarely ever doing crowd work. Like, it's just not. It's not his thing. So to your point, you're right, that wouldn't have happened, and I can't even see him even being there to even be in a situation, because for comedy, it's like that wouldn't even be his steez. You know what I mean? But I do get what you mean within like I think, and you know what, I'm gonna take the opposite side of this, like of this Will Smith in the stage approach when I be seeing these things, because some people the ops out here thinking that it's Chris Tucker that got smacked because they can't tell us apart. And the people are like, yo, he wouldn't have did that to Chris Tucker, he wouldn't have did that to Cat Williams, he wouldn't have did that to DC Young Fly. But the thing is, I think the way he saw red, I think Will Smith would have did it to anybody. Okay. I'm in that place right now. Unless what happened is what you're saying happened, like the theory with the phone call, because the way it happened, though, you're right. The way it was like, okay, oh yeah, you know what, I did make that promise. It's go time.
Yep.
And then smacked him, and Chris Rock's like, that was the smack. That was the smack you was telling me about. You know what I mean?
And that's why I feel like he didn't. That's why I feel like he didn't press charges. That's why I felt like none of that shit. Shit happened.
He can't press charges.
He ain't from the streets.
Nah, dude, he can't press charges because he can't press charges the same way how Will Smith ain't supposed to just smack that nigga on live TV. It just makes the situation more worse. Or I'm a press charges. Like, it's not. It's. I don't think you can do it. Like, if that's why Chris Rock is goated, because he can't do it. DC Young Fly could. I think Chris Tucker might be able to. Cat Williams wouldn't, but he could. But Chris Rock is worth 60 million. He can't press charges against Will Smith. I don't think he can do it. So but to your point, you was mentioning a while ago, like he took the slap like a G. And the thing is, you know what the thing is? I kind of think everybody I don't know. I feel like everybody as a man been in this situation. You've been in a couple of fights as a man. You've been in a situation where you got hit and had no idea that you was going to get hit. And somebody got close enough to you to hit you, but you didn't know you was going to get hit. That's happened to everybody. Now, unless you're a Kung Fu expert, unless you Joe Rogan.
Michael J. White.
That's Michael J. White, or unless you got unlimited hands. Sometimes you get smacked or you get punched. You have no idea. Like, there's a meme. There's some of y'all can't see this, but y'all have seen it. There's a video of these football players, and one dude is like got his helmet on, the other dude got his helmet on, obviously. And dude smacks him, and a dude gets smacked and like looks around like, this nigga just hit me. I got a helmet on. Then he smacks him again. They start fighting. He didn't know he was going to
get hit. I saw that. Yeah.
I think the way Chris Rock gets hit, he's like, did I just get? And then at that point, sometimes if you ain't literally about that action, like how niggas be, and you don't expect to be in fights all the time, he got hit in the way where after he got hit and Will Smith starts to walk away, it's like, bullshit. Like, am I supposed to like tackle him? Like, right. I'm already hit. Like, here's the thing. The only thing Chris Rock could have did was slipped it and stole on him. Yeah. But other than that, he got hit in the way where it's like, damn it.
This nigga got me. But no, you're right. He did get hit like that. And Will did it. So like I said, it was the way you move. It's the way you move if you get in a fight at school. If you get in a fight at school and somebody says something in the classroom and you get up and you slap the shit out of them, and before the teacher can like break it up, and you already sit down, because that's literally what happened. Before security can even get up there and break anything up, he already was on his way. He was already back at his seat. Before they can even check in on Chris Rock to find out. And then people were already, because one, it's the stage, right? It's the Oscars. People are like, is this acting? Is this, you know what I'm saying? Is this a part of the show? Like, nobody knows what the fuck going on. Like,
nobody knows what's going on, Dell. Nobody knows.
Nobody has no idea. They showed the people that they got these. They got some photos of people like after when it took place. People looking like, then you got everybody coming out, that was me. We would have had to get these hands. Got everybody saying that. I don't know if we were gonna get those hands from a lot of people. I think a lot of people, because of the stage that it's at, would have probably reacted the same way unless you already about that life and goon shit. Like, and you're probably not hosting the Oscars if you about that life like that.
Exactly. So that's what on both spectrums. Like number one, like Jerry Seinfeld is way too rich for that, and that's not really his steez. Number two, like Cat Williams and DC Young Fly, they're just about that action. Anybody get too close, you too close, man. It's like that Nipsey Hussle video when he was like, exactly. When he's telling, he was like, hey y'all just, if y'all want to get a picture, y'all ask for a picture, but y'all sneaking up on me with your shit all out, like I'm a 60s crip. Like I don't know who's getting out of a car. So sometimes your head is on a swivel. Chris Rock from Brooklyn, but he ain't really had to worry about that. And I don't know, 50 years. He 57.
And they're friends.
And they're friends.
Like if Ryan rolled up to me and I'm like, and I said some shit, mind you, me and Ryan go back and forth, but it said some hurtful shit to each other. Some real live, like, some shit that's like, it, like probably the joke probably seems too far in other people's eyes. You know what I mean? Some hurtful shit to other people. However, so if he walked up to me after I said some shit, like when he was dealing with weight and I called him a fat fuck, like I'm pretty sure like I wouldn't have even known that that's what he coming to hit me for. Like I done called him a fat fuck since we've been little. So if he came and hit me, he'd be like, I wouldn't even expect that shit. I wouldn't even expect it. So he probably like, bro, I've been clowning on wives. I just said something, and the thing about it is for Chris Rock, he just said something about somebody else's husband and wife. And everybody laughed, right? He said something 5 years ago. Will wasn't there, but like I said, unless that call happened, it probably was a laugh. Will ain't never said nothing, so it don't seem like it's no problem. So if never was presented to be a problem, then only thing you could do is just think, oh, what I said was a problem. The thing that gets to me is this, though. This is one thing I will say, and I think this is why. Oh, never mind. No, it has nothing to do with that. But I will say this: Chris Rock once did a documentary about black hair, right?
Yeah.
And now you get slapped the shit out of because making a joke about hair. That is like low-key golden. I just had to put that out there.
That is irony. That's pretty ironic. Like that's, you know, this is what I want to know. You know how you mentioned people are trying to find a way to blame anybody, right? So like it was a time where I read one comment where it's like the Oscars shouldn't have cleared the joke that Chris Rock was, they shouldn't have cleared that joke. And the thing is like as a like for someone that, as Chris Rock has hosted the Oscars as many times, I don't think he's submitting a set list or whatever. I don't think he's doing that. And
he's not hosting the Oscars no more.
And the joke that he did do about Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, about them both being nominated, like that joke, the way he tells the joke and then talks about Javier Bardem really hopes Will Smith wins because he can't, if his wife loses, he can't win. And then when he says the Jada thing, the way he says it, that shit don't seem like it's part of the set list. It seems like it seems like Jada. Honestly, it seemed like this may be a stretch. Some people may not like this, but honestly, it seemed like a term of endearment in a way. Because he's talking about this one couple, right? And he's like, yo, if Penelope loses, Javier can't win because that's crazy. You can't be arguing with your wife. So she really hope Will wins. And at that point, you're talking about a power couple, and then Jada ain't in them. I was like, hey, Jada, loved you. G.I. Jane 2, go get G.I. Jane 2, go get that shit. Like,
you a soldier. Like, you a soldier. You out here winning. You out here. We know you for Saturday. We been know you about action. So at the end of the day, that's how she could have took you. But immediately, right? A whole bunch of people too. I will say, I'm sorry to interject on your spiel here, but you got me in it. And immediately, right? A lot of people don't even know about G.I. Jane like that, first off. So you know what happened? A whole bunch of hits done got hit to G.I. Jane server right now because motherfuckers had to look it up to figure out what's going on. Right. G.I. Jane, why does G.I. Jane got to be identified as being a bald woman? Why can't she be identified as being a strong woman? Y'all, this is sometimes the complication that goes on with women, right? Like you can't never give them a compliment and you can't never, you know what I'm saying, bring them down anyway because it's a compliment. You G.I. Jane. Any other time, you'd be okay being G.I. Jane. If you were shaving your head out bald, you okay with being G.I. Jane. What does it matter if you G.I.?
For real, like, what does it? But the thing is, bro, like, what does it matter to your point? Like, well, you're bald for this reason. I didn't even know she's bald for that reason. I thought she was just
Yeah,
rocking a shortcut because she been rocking a shortcut and she looked good. I
forever.
didn't know. I had no idea. But now it's like, well, it's a medical condition. Well, y'all make fun of LeBron all the time. Like
It's a
what
medical
different?
condition. He dealing with hair loss,
Like
real
it.
hair loss.
Like
Boy, woke up one morning, follicles was on the pillowcase.
so. And I want to know this. Like I want to know if like Chris Rock could have said something like. Chris Rock just said something like Will and Jade ain't having that problem because Matrix 4 is horrible. Was she in the last Matrix movie again or not?
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
he
she's in
said
the
yes.
Matrix. Yes,
Yes. He could have said something like that. And that he had something like that. And that's offensive.
that's offensive.
That's
And,
genuinely
and they would have laughed. They would have laughed. Everybody would have been cranking
and
up.
and Will Smith triggered, he would have still hit him. Period. Because it wasn't
He
about
wanted to hit somebody. You saying Will came in there came in there for violence. Will came in the Oscar with violence. Like anybody bring up the word entanglement. Anybody say anything, and he just heard it too many times. And
this is the night, cuz Will was in there. I wish I want to get better at making memes and gifts because I feel like Will was on his way to the Oscars and he was like Mekhi Phifer when they kidnapped Pee Wee, his little brother. Like any nigga that ever looked at me, B, any nigga that ever even looked at me, B, is about to be any nigga ever, bro. Ooh, and then that's my little man's, B. That's my little man's. And then they cut all his fingers off and killed him. But Will Smith was like, tonight, watch. It's gonna be a problem. So either somebody's gonna get slapped. This is one of those situations where the only thing that could have not made this happen is if Will Smith just didn't go.
you know
Because
what?
it was one more time, real quick. It was like it was a perfect setup, right? It was a perfect setup because in the older Oscars, like pre-COVID, everything was like larger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the stage is so high up, ain't nobody gonna get up and walk through hella aisles and then go up the stairs. But the way we're doing everything like closer and like less people, so we have smaller venues because of COVID reasons. He just walked on the stage. You don't do that's not how things
Hand
work in
out.
real life. So
He worked on the stage with his hand out and gave him that hand cock. But look, oh, like my my other thought is now to your point about him doing the Mekhi Phifer is maybe it was no apology said, but if he was like, because just knowing Chris Rock, maybe he was like, if Chris Rock say anything today, I'm slapping the shit out of him. Anything. He probably said that shit while they was on the ride there, the limo ride. Just if he say anything to do about this entanglement just because he think it's funny, or say anything about my masculinity, or say anything to disrespect me, I'm gonna show him why I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised.
I just I just don't understand why. What's really weird is that if this was somebody being upset about something, I understand. If this was somebody like trying to get they G card back, that's not gonna work. Because the thing is, I kind of feel like when it comes to like West Philly Willie, like he ain't been West Philly Willie in a long time. And the thing is like that's not a problem. Like I've always thought of Will Smith to like just be like the epitome of positivity. Like Will Smith is one of the people that put me on the book The Alchemist, which I'm reading right now for my second time. Like he's that guy. One of my like he Will Smith is the epitome of positivity. Some people are like, he let me down. Like I'm not so disconnected. I'm like, how could a grown man let you down? I'm more or less like I get it because that's somebody that you viewed as like being a god figure, not a god figure, but it's like the epitome of class, if you will, for the way that he be moving. But I mean, everybody get mad, but I just don't. You know what, man? I want to share something. I find it really, I find it creepy. I find it creepy. Not that this happened, but I find it creepy. Like the friends that I have and like colleagues I have that are like condoning this. Like, yo, that's what you get for talking shit. Because in my mind, I want to be like, yo, never come to my show. But
Mm-mm.
at the same time, I'm just not that popping it to tell you never to come. But just know if like your wife is bald and she pull up, like I'm gonna ask for it because like I'm a shit starter, you know what I mean? And that's why I think Chris Rock is so dope because when he got slapped, right? Like he is like, Will Smith just slapped shit out of me, and then the teleprompter is still on. And I feel like Chris Rock is thinking in that comedic second, every single joke went through his mind. He could say every single joke, though, every single bar, every single pun went through his mind. He was like, you know what? Some of the greatest television ever. So tonight we're giving out a documentary and we're giving out the award for it because of every joke. You know how you be in an argument with somebody and it gets to a point where you're like, you know what? I have 11 things that will destroy you right now. They will destroy you. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this L. And that's why in a way, me and you've talked about this before, but that's why in the way I started to more and more believe that Drake really did have a song. Drake really have a song about Push and was like, I'm not gonna do this to this man. I got some things, bro. But I'm not gonna do this. But I feel like Chris Rock is in that comedic mind, just here's the thing. When it comes to I'm gonna just put you on some game. Put you on a little bit of game. When it comes to comics, we write so much and we talk so much shit to our friends that like we have jokes about things that just aren't ever talked about. Like me and Dell have pre-episode things that we've talked about that never make it to the tape. So if the right situation come about, wow, how you think of that? Thought about it 3 years ago. But Dell, he had all that. But he was like, you know what?
You saying he Batman? You saying he Batman? He prepared. Batman. You know how Batman is prepared to take out anybody on Justice League, no matter what. He already done pre-planned how to take them out in case any situation come. Oh, I got this.
I'm gonna say that, man. I'm gonna say that when it comes to when it comes to comedians, like we not all Superman, we not all Flash. We got this two belt though. But I'm talking about like a real Batman though, not this whole ass Batman. They just not sad man that they just dropped.
Man.
I don't got time to talk. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one part of this that it's a weak ass movie. That is when I knew the movie was over. So obviously Batman is raised by Alfred after his parents get killed or whatever, right? Right. So Alfred is like that's his father figure, right? And you also know like Batman, no matter who has ever played Batman, he been about his money, right? Because he's a billionaire, right? Okay, they got this part of the Batman movie in the beginning when Robert Pattinson come back in from doing bad things, right? And then he's sitting at this table trying to go over the surveillance. And then Alfred's like, hey man, tomorrow morning, I need you to talk to these dudes about this money because they coming in to check on the thing. And he was like, why are they coming here? He's like, because I can't get you to go to them. He's like, you're not my father, Alfred. Bruh, y'all really made Batman spoiled and emo.
Y'all made Batman these new age teenagers.
Yes, Dell.
That's who the fuck y'all. That's who the fuck y'all want him to depict.
Dell, the nigga said, "You're not my father, Alfred." Really, bro?
Did he throw his controller?
He might as well have because he was on this thing. He was on the thing. Was like and slapped the surveillance and slapped her like, "You're not my father, Alfred."
What does that have to do with anything about him having to meet the people though? That's the whole thing.
Because he's being a brat. And that's what I mean.
But it has nothing to do about you got to meet these people. You know what? You're not my father. It got nothing to do with that. This is about money. We got to keep his mansion.
That's what I'm saying. We got to keep the mansion. That's what I mean. Like, Batman always been about his bread. Like, Batman always was to be like, I don't care about meeting with those people. You don't care about the money?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
I haven't even seen it. But now, damn it, you might have just
it made me sad. I think that could be why, honestly, when it all comes down to it, like, maybe.
And you was gassing it too. I
wasn't gassing it.
You was extra gassing. Like, oh, let's see this with look dull as fuck. Man, you was sitting in trailers all in the. You're a liar. This is all facts.
You are a liar.
This is all facts. You know how you just said. You know how you just said how I just came up with that right away because this really happened.
You are a liar. You can because you lie. You make things up.
That's a fact. You was sitting in the trailer
with that right away. You make things up, nigga. That's why I didn't never. I don't even send you superhero trailers because you don't watch superhero movies. I don't send you.
I do. How do you gonna tell me I don't watch? Bro, I watch all the superhero movies.
What's the last Marvel movie you saw?
The last Marvel movie I saw was Endgame.
Huh?
The Endgame.
That's the last one you saw.
That's the last one I saw.
What's the last DC movie you saw?
The last DC movie I saw was, to be honest with you, it was the Justice League. See, bro. See what I'm talking about? You don't rock with superhero movies. You ain't see Suicide Squad? Oh, I did see Suicide Squad. I forgot. My bad. I mean, no, I did. I seen Suicide Squad. I seen Suicide Squad 1 and 2. So I mean, I don't know where you at. I matter of fact, if we talk about that, I just seen the one with Idris Elba.
That's Suicide Squad.
I know. That's what I'm telling you.
All right, man. You like the first one with Will Smith
Bro,
in it?
I sent you a whole thing about the new DC movies coming out with that they got The Rock playing Black Adam.
Nah, bro. Dewan sent that. Listen.
I'm just gonna lie. Just gonna lie. I sent it after you was talking, after you was hyping up this new Batman movie. I literally sent it after that. I was like, oh yeah, you was like, DC it's DC year. You was talking hella shit like, what DC? It's my DC year. You took a picture with a cardboard cutout of Batman. You was like,
bruh, you're a whole liar.
Just us. Batman always been. You was like, Batman's always been my biggest hero. He's my Chris Rock. That's what you said.
Wow, dude.
That's
wow.
What you said. That's what you said.
It's 500,000 people listening to this thinking like Ryan really did that. No, I did not do that. Cardboard cut out of Batman. That's the problem. That's the problem when it comes to Batman movies. You can't even really ever trust the first movie because to be 100 with you, people may not like this, but that first Batman installment of Batman Begins, it wasn't that good. But when you put them all together, then yeah, it's good. But this movie right here, this is a complete failure, and there's nothing you could do about it. They got to get rid of this. You know how bad this is? This is bad. This is so bad. When I was watching the movie, I was like, man, I miss Ben Affleck. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
That's probably why Will Smith was mad. Like he probably wanted to, he was probably late because he watched the Batman movie on bootleg and was like, I'm gonna slap me nigga tonight. That's probably what happened. So
he didn't say that. He definitely, that ain't why he slapped. I know why he slapped him. He wanted to slap him because August is coming up, and he was like, I gotta handle this up before the month of August is here.
Do you think that at this point, so it's been a pattern in like, I'm not gonna say an obvious pattern, but it's been a potential pattern of Jada like just disrespecting Will all over television since, I don't know, I'm gonna say like since 2020 Red Table or whatever, but at the same time, we've been dealing with these like small little Tupac interview friendship things or whatever. You think at this point that she gonna like stop like saying wild things about? You think she gonna stop saying things?
I think. Listen to me. This is the thing, man. As a husband now, you know, I can say this. As a husband, you know what the fuck, you know who you married. Let me just tell you that right now. He knew who he married. He knew what he got himself into. This is why he's doesn't lash out. This is why they probably don't even argue about this shit. We probably all got every speculation to be like, they probably was in the car, they talked about that. He probably ain't never said nothing to her about how he feel. They be in therapy. He don't even talk about that shit. Like, it don't bother me that you get. I know why you did it. He probably be accepting that shit because he knows his wife. You know what I mean? He knows his wife. He know what he accepted. And I don't think she's gonna stop because the Red Table and her being vulnerable to talk about the things that she's been able to discuss, it's what's making her TV show pop off. Is what's getting it popular around Facebook. Is what's allowing people to continue to tune in. So I don't think she's going to deflect. I don't think none of that stuff's going to happen. I think if anything, the only thing that happened in this situation is Will gain some kind of public masculinity back in a lot of ways. He's got the public eye to say, oh, Will will slap you, talk about his wife.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And that's all that happened here. And that's it. And
which is fair, right? I mean, which is fair because I mean, at that point, it's like if that point it's kind of like, okay, y'all gonna talk about me all the time. But and that's fine. But if y'all gonna talk, but y'all can't really talk about me unless y'all talk about her. So if y'all stop talking about her, then y'all essentially got to stop talking about me. So if you want to see me, I got hands or one hand, whatever y'all need. I'm 6'2",
right.
Got big hands. If y'all need it, come and get it. And Chris Rock is like 5'9", 3/4, and 70 pounds less.
It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that Tyson. It's gonna be that Tyson syndrome. People make fun of Tyson until Tyson start hemming niggas up.
Is that true?
Yeah, but then Tyson had to learn how to love comedy. But it's kind of like similar. Like, I mean, I sent you this for real, but I sent you the joke about how Jamie Foxx was making fun of Tyson.
Oh yeah, and he's like, once I lost everything.
Yeah. I never been so happy, right?
Right.
But look, things like that, right? It's like Will. Look, man. Will is on social media. He ain't like Hove. He ain't like these people who just don't pay attention to this shit. Not saying that they don't necessarily pay attention, but he be on that shit. He be on social media. He actively on that shit. So he see this shit. He see this shit y'all say, and he laugh it off. He wipe his tears and laugh it off. For real. I'm sure he laughs that shit off. Like, they got me again. Jada got me again. And I'm sure like some of the things that he thought he did. The thing about it is, Will is mad a lot about what happened, but he's also mad a lot about what itself. Because here's an example of what I mean by that. At the red table, right when they were there, he chose to not say nothing about how he felt. He allowed himself to be vulnerable. He allowed himself, and he thought. And I guarantee you, his publicist told him, "Go ahead and be vulnerable. People are gonna understand you. They're going to relate to you. They're gonna understand." They amped him up to do this. So he took their word. They took their word. For real. He took their word, thinking, let itself cry on national television, all of this shit, right? And we humiliated him. We you know what I'm saying? Not we, because I didn't have nothing to do with the shit.
We didn't even talk about that on the show.
I didn't talk about it, but I'm just telling y'all, like, the public went ahead and
say y'all, tell them y'all, Dell, y'all
motherfuckers, you right there watching this shit, your ass, main motherfucker out there,
the main motherfucker.
No, but
it's the main one though.
Man, he right.
You're right. I did this. I smacked Chris Rock. It's all my fault.
It's all
me. No, I see now. Now that you've walked me through this a little bit. Now that you walked me through this a little bit more, and someone's in a way like Will Smith. Will Smith does become like the sympathetic individual like a while ago, because the problem is this, right? Is we talked a lot about how before it's about who likes who, right? Mm-hmm. So because if it was Kanye and Pete Davidson. If Pete Davidson made an offhand joke and Kanye went up there and smacked Pete or whatever, they'd be like, Kanye is a crazy person. You could never smack a comedian. It'd be one-sided completely. That would be it. But because people don't really like Kanye, people don't really like Kanye West. They like Pete Davidson more when it comes to like heartfelt liking, not creative ability, but just so when it comes to Will Smith and Chris Rock, people just like Will Smith more than Chris Rock. Right. But the thing is, prior to this like Will Smith thing, prior to this red table talk, it's August 7th thing, Will Smith was such like the epitome of like perfect like movie star person with family that's happy and dance, having a good time. His career is so embellished, they couldn't wait to see him destroyed. Just like with LeBron in that Celtics game, they couldn't in the drama with his Deontay, they couldn't wait like, it's something, we could destroy you. We can't wait because you're too perfect anyway. Yep. So to your point, yeah, he look at it and be like, damn, I'm sad. Because at one point I was the king of the world. I'm the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air forever. Like they love me. Like they all know my song. They couldn't wait for you to be like, haha, your wife made you cry. Ha, look at you now. Ha, sucker. Like, so I guess that's why when it comes full circle, people have been waiting for Will Smith to know. They've been waiting for him to win the championship. Mm-hmm. So this is Will Smith this is his Cleveland championship, essentially.
No, you facts. You are facts. This is his bubble championship. Not even his Cleveland. No, you're right. It's Cleveland.
This is his Cleveland championship.
You're right. This is more of his Cleveland. Yeah. This is his Cleveland championship. He needed this. He needed this. No, he did. He needed this. He needed people to know, because
my hero didn't need to be the victim.
He didn't need to be the victim. I don't think Chris Rock needed to be I don't think nobody needed to be the victim. I think
somebody could have got it.
I think no, somebody could have got it, but I'm saying August. Now, if it would have been like, he would have walked up there and August was doing the opening singing, I'm from downtown, whatever song, because he's got a song called I'm Downtown. So, you know what I'm saying? And he went up there and just slapped the shit out of August Alsina. Then we would have been like, oh, Will, wow, son, like that thing go hard, right? Like I bet August ain't gonna never get out his way again.
August was the shit though. He's an R&B nigga. People would have felt bad, like he shouldn't have did that. Because ain't August saying like he 5'4", he 5'5" your height?
Hey, what? Yeah, that ain't my height. He a big nigga. That's all I gotta say. If he my height, if you comparing him to me, a 6 foot nigga. Like your joke already said you only 5'9", so just chill out. You already been saying you never felt so 5'9" in my life. You 5'9". Stick to your height.
I'm 5'10". Nigga.
Couldn't even finish a whole hamburger.
I'm 5'10" and 3/4. I'm the same height as Chris Rock.
Yeah.
That's why I got to keep a little more weight on me because niggas like Will
And
Smith
I'll
is just running
slap the
up.
shit out of you because I'm Will Smith.
No, I'm saying this is what I mean by like sympathetic figures. Like, I think honestly, I think August is like about 5'6" or so.
He little nigga. They are little. All of these industry niggas is little. That's why Will looks like a giant to these niggas because they all little.
6'2".
He little to me, but he big to them niggas.
Will Smith is little to you.
Little to me.
Okay. All right.
Little
All
nigga.
right.
Call that nigga Little Philly.
When nigga run up and hem you up,
He ain't gonna hem me out. He ain't gonna hem me out. He ain't gonna hem me up. And if he do, I'll sue that nigga now. I tell you right now.
Oh, that's on mom. That's on mom.
That's on Eric. Hey, Will, you come at me, I'm suing you.
I'm not.
I want 150 million. And
I'm not popping enough to like. I'm not popping enough to not sue Will Smith. Like on honor, like if when I'm popping, if I was to get smacked by him, I'd be like, hey, whatever. But I don't even need your bread. But now I kind of do. So I would sue that nigga. That's on mom.
You hit me, and if I'm rich or not, I'm suing your ass.
And just so y'all do know, I would want to make sure we put this out there. He did apologize. He did send an apology out.
Yeah.
On Instagram, so he wants to publicly apologize to Chris, and violence is not right in any format, and so
he should have publicly apologized. However, though, I appreciate his apology. You should have publicly apologized, though, face to face with that man, and let that nigga slap you back. Chris Rock deserved to get to slap you back, bro, on that shit. Like, okay, but I will say this. Hold on.
I know what you're gonna say.
I will say this. Chris Rock win on this, though.
I know what you're gonna say.
He can come out with a new He can come out with a new special, The Slap. And everybody gonna talk about The Slap. Everybody gonna know he can run a new right now. He can get paid. Netflix, he don't need the money from Will Smith because Netflix is gonna give him the money to talk about how The Slap felt.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so because it would be different if Will Smith didn't apologize, and it's like an ongoing beef, right? Uh-huh. So then you wouldn't know really how to walk around it. But because Will Smith wrote the apology, that means it's squashed. Yeah. So that means that Chris Rock's like, oh, I can't wait to get these jokes off. He's already writing last night. So like when some stuff happened to a comedian, that's gonna be a huge chunk of it. Like if y'all seen the new Louis C.K. Sincerely, it's on Amazon. It's like $3 for 10 minutes. He talks about his incident with these ladies and goes in. He's like, so I guess I should talk about the thing, right? All right, let's talk about it. And then you do your thing. So as far as Chris Rock's new special, you can go up there and be like, I know y'all wondering how my face doing. And then they're going, because you make fun of yourself, self-deprecation.
Martin Lawrence run to that.
Then go in 10, 15 minutes and you'll be all good. So man, that's what we have for y'all. I mean, we had to get on the sticks on the ones and twos immediately because, bro, like I don't know. We couldn't wait until Sunday to do this because we're gonna be at the game. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure we get this to y'all ASAP, man. So if this is one of your first times listening, because we actually recorded this in real time, it's gonna be up tonight. Please be sure to give us some feedback, share with your pals, share with your buddies, share with your individuals, whoever. And if this is one of your special times listening where you're like, hey, they really dropped 2 episodes back to back. And I told one listener, I'm not gonna say who I told because I don't want people knowing they got the special plug. But one of the listeners hit me, I was like, hey man, I hope that y'all can add this to the end of y'all episode, or if y'all haven't recorded it yet, because man, y'all gotta talk about this. And I was like, bro, we're gonna drop a special episode tomorrow. He's like, nigga, I can't wait, nigga. So shout out to that listener who was like, bro, y'all gotta do something. The way he told me. The reason I don't want to say his name does because it kind of seemed like a threat. He's like, bro, if y'all don't have something on this in the next 48 hours, I'm having my whole family unsubscribe. Like, that's kind of how I felt, Dell. So we had to do it. It was under duress. So,
and motherfuckers keep their word.
People keep their word because they asked me another time. They asked me 4 years ago. It's like, yo,
yeah, it's the same person you ain't put their song out yet either. I already know
that's a different listener.
Right, ain't shit, y'all. That's why I say.
It's like
Venmo me, DM him.
That's like if anything ever pop off and y'all don't drop an episode the next day, I'm smacking the shit out of you. And then when that shit popped off and they hit me and they sent me a picture of a hand, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we have to do this shit. So, man, per usual, y'all could be anywhere in the world right now, but y'all here with us and we appreciate that.
And if you made it this far, just know we here at the Dell and Ryan Report really, 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 really fuck with you. And thank you so much for just tuning in.